I'm 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. A wide range of temperatures right now, 45 in Howell, but 58 in the city of Detroit. Cooler weather everywhere headed our way. I'll have the forecast in just a few minutes.
Also breaking news in the Speaker of the House stalemate. So far, Republicans cannot agree on who should be their leader. We'll tell you where things stand on this political spectacle. We're also tracking this investigation outside a local charter school. A man's body was found this morning. What we know about the case so far. Plus, you may have seen video of this rocket lifting off. Now, we've learned there was some precious cargo on board with an emotional connection to a local family. We'll explain first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are tracking the House Speaker stalemate day 2. The new Republican majority in the House of Representatives remains unable to choose its own leader. Now, we have heard these words 5 times since yesterday.
No member-elect having received a majority of the votes cast, a speaker has not been elected.
A 6th vote is now underway. We haven't seen something like this on Capitol Hill in 100 years. Kimberly Gill tracking the very latest events in D.C. for us. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Right now, it looks like Republican Kevin McCarthy will fail for a 6th time to get the votes he needs to be Speaker of the House, but votes are still being cast. It's a critical time because the House can't get down to any other business until a Speaker is chosen. The representatives haven't even been sworn in as of yet. So here's where things stand right now. Democrats remain united. They're supporting their leadership choice, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. But the Democrats are now the minority party, so of course he can't win. A small group of about 20 Republicans is refusing to cast votes for Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who has the support of most Republicans. Today, some of the rebels threw in the name of Florida's Byron Donalds, but he's not getting any groundswell of support either. He's basically a placeholder for the members who are fighting against McCarthy. While Republicans battle on, though, President Joe Biden was making an appearance in Kentucky with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. This was a rare celebration of bipartisan legislation. The president and McConnell worked together to pass a massive infrastructure bill signed into law back in 2021. Some of that money will be used to overhaul a Kentucky bridge that is one of the busiest freight routes in the country. The president is trying to draw a contrast between cooperation and division.
We can work together. We can get things done. We can move the nation forward. We just drop a little bit of our egos and focus on what is needed in the country.
All right, let's go ahead and take a live look right now at the scene on the House floor. Right now, lawmakers have once again nominated McCarthy, Jeffries, and Donalds. This vote started about 3:35 or so, and it looks like McCarthy will fail once again, the 6th time, because Donalds has taken away too many votes. Sources are saying if no one is elected this time around, the House could agree to take a break like it did yesterday. But of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens, and we'll continue to follow it. We are still a long way away from the longest battle over who should become Speaker of the House. Back in 1855, the fight for the gavel took 2 months and 133 ballots during debates over slavery in the run-up to the Civil War. We'll be monitoring the action in the House and bring you updates as needed with new information when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. For now, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Well, the recovery of football player Damar Hamlin seems to be headed in a, quote, positive direction. That's according to one of his reps. The 24-year-old Buffalo Bill remains in intensive care at this hour. Family members say he is on a ventilator, but he has been receiving less oxygen. The goal is to get Hamlin to breathe on his own. We're also told he's been rolled onto his stomach to help clear those blood that was collecting from his lungs. Hamlin went into cardiac arrest after a tackle during a game in Cincinnati on Monday night. We'll keep you posted on how he's doing. More news in a minute, but we want to check on the current weather conditions. We saw a bunch of fog earlier today. Meteorologist Kim Adams here with the very latest. So how are we doing right now?
Well, the fog has lifted in many areas, and we even got a break or two of the sunshine if you were lucky to see it in a few spots. But right now, visibility not a problem, with the exception of Mount Clemens reporting some patchy fog at this hour. Also up in Lapeer, 1 mile visibility in Port Huron, but really not a problem across much of Metro Detroit. Temperatures very wide range. We talked yesterday about something called a warm sector, and you can tell by looking at the temperatures where that warm sector is, because it's 58 in the city of Detroit. But if you go up to Lapeer, it's only 45, and out to Howell, it's 45. So it slices really right through parts of southeast lower Michigan at this hour. Warmth is still to our south, but wrapping back behind this area of low pressure is some cooler weather that will be here by tomorrow, and also just a few very light snow showers tomorrow as well. 39 will be the high for Thursday. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. Detroit police have been carefully going over evidence after a man was shot outside of a charter school on the city's east side. This happened before school was in session at the Tricks Academy. The body was found in a grassy area outside of the school. Police say 20 to 25 shots were fired and evidence markers were sprinkled all over the area. Police are checking nearby cameras to see if they can get some leads on who's responsible. New at 5, we'll have a live update on that investigation, and police will talk about the role ShotSpotter played in detecting the crime. We do have some new information for you on a school threat that closed in Macomb County District for the rest of the week. The superintendent of Richmond Schools says a written death threat was found when staff returned from holiday break. Police now tell us the note included anti-Semitic remarks and targeted a specific employee and their family. The district says police are reviewing security camera footage as they investigate who made the threat. The target has also been notified. School is scheduled to reopen Monday. The superintendent was already planning on canceling classes today because of teacher shortages. That's the very latest in Richmond. Now let's move over to Oakland Township. Investigators are sharing a big new clue in a deadly hit and run over in that area that killed a Michigan State senior. 22-year-old Benjamin Cable from Shelby Township was struck as he walked on Rochester Road in Oakland Township on Sunday. Investigators don't know if he was standing or perhaps walking in the road when he was hit. The sheriff's office now believes the driver was in a white, silver, or gray BMW 3 Series, like the one you see right there on your screen. The car involved in the crash likely has damage to its hood and front bumper and is missing portions of the grille. If you can help, call the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Now, the story of a family that felt a formal funeral just wasn't the best way to say a final farewell to their dad. They say he loved outer space, science fiction, and actually once worked for NASA. So our Megan Woods reports they worked long and hard to create a memorial that's truly out of this world.
You may have watched the SpaceX launch yesterday, but what you didn't know is a St. Clair County woman found a way to get her father's ashes onto that rocket. It's something she's been waiting to happen for about a year now.
2, 1, and liftoff.
My dad was really into education and teaching me about space, and so now I get to continue to learn from my dad about space, which I love.
Holly Hutton doesn't know much about space other than how much her dad, John, loved it.
My dad was super smart and very funny, and he worked for NASA for a little bit, but mainly he was into computers.
He died February 2022, 4 months after he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Holly says her father was a U.S. Air Force veteran, so the plan was to release his ashes over the ocean. That was until the funeral home went through other options.
You can turn ashes into like a necklace, like a charm or something. They're like, oh yeah, there's space. And he kind of brushed it off as like, oh yeah, nobody buys that. Like, you know, and I was like, whoa. I want to know about the space. Tell me about the space thing.
It's called the Shooting Star Package.
He goes up in the rocket, he orbits around for a year, and then he will come back and fall back out of the orbit as a shooting star.
It took a year of planning and rescheduling to make it happen, but this week, John made it to space. A send-off fitting for a man who had a spirit out of this world.
So this is like my favorite picture of my dad. And that to me is like his true essence.
And as John spends a year up there and they track him orbiting around the Earth, Holly says it feels like they have a little more time with him down here.
My son is 5 and he's so young and he's not going to really have a ton of memories of his grandpa. And this, for me, just means that we can have a longer time to make those memories, even if they're different and not exactly what I would prefer those memories to be like.
She tells us she plans to pull up that orbit link and talk to her son, educate him about what Grandpa is doing, but also about space, just like her father did for her. I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Holly also says she wishes that she found out about this option while her father was still here. She says he would have loved the idea. Still ahead, first at 4, a population problem. Why some families are being offered more than $7,000 per child to move to a new town. Also, Southwest calls it a gesture of goodwill. See if the airline's new offer would make you feel better about that holiday travel meltdown. Up first, a shocking twist in this dramatic car rescue. We are going to talk about who's under arrest and the new charges in the case.